What's up, everybody? It's Josh here. I know we haven't put a video out for a while from the garage. We've just been doing lives out here. So I thought I'd update this channel. It's a wonderful day here in Ohio, like 60 some degrees, very unseasonable. So Moose and I came out in the garage. First, I'm gonna talk about the RZR. It's back together. I'm gonna flip camera side, so I'll be right back. Didn't really get a chance to clean it because it sat so long, I got impatient. But the new transmission is in. Fluids changed. The only problem we really had is the header gasket was bad, so it's got a new header gasket and bolts. So the RZR is back alive. The Mach 1 is next. So you can see there are fluids on the ground. And it's not that leaky pinion. It is, let me grab a light here. Other projects all around, you can see. It is power steering lines. So for some reason, Ford decided this was a good design for the Mach 1 to have a ram here that these hydraulic lines feed. These come from the pump off the motor. This one blew already. We fixed it. It's replaced. Well, now that one decided to eat itself. This is what happens when you deal with cars that sat for 21 years. I'm assuming this one hopefully will hold up, but I have both of these lines now to replace. And then our old T5 ate itself. It barely getting on it. Like barely. It was enough speed to enter the freeway. And it said not today. I believe this old Borg Warner is like a older model, the pre-89, pre-world class, because I think the world class has a different number on it. I haven't ran it, but I'm pretty sure this is not a world class T5. And I don't know if weight of the car. So I got to pull the exhaust, which I can fix this emergency brake cable while it's off, drop the drive shaft, pull out the 5-speed. At least the bell housing and stuff stays on. I can get a good inspection in there, see how the clutch is looking since we replaced. Oh, looks like we dropped a bolt. It was vibrating very hard, limping at home in only 4th gear. So that's what's going on. I'll probably set up a camera and do a video on pulling this out and swapping the transmission lines. I think I need some, it just needs suspension stuff. It's an old car. You can see the sway bar bushings are done. Got some corrosion on the brakes. Maybe a bleeder weeping. Or if that's just general moisture from being out here in the garage. But it needs some love. I don't want to dump a ton of money into the suspension stuff because I really want to do the conversion. Oh, look at that starter bolt backing out. It needed some love. This is a brand new starter too. These brakes are not old at all. They've all been replaced. Our subframe connectors look good. I don't see anything out of place. Leaf springs still look good. Rear bushing needs replaced on that sway bar. Might need to throw a clamp on that. New bushings still look okay. It just needs some love, a little bit at a time. But what I was saying is I want to do the full dropout shock tower delete suspension on the front with a real rack instead of this mess. So I'm not going to replace all that. I probably should put bushings in there. New ball joints, or whatever they call these on a Mach 1, because they look pretty dead. New radiator looks good. Looks like I got a little antifreeze leak. Probably that stupid thermostat housing that was stock. So that's just a quick update. Got some cleaning to do out here. Need to get on Charlie's Jeep. Yes, that's a Jeep. There's Jeep parts everywhere. There's a Jeep out there. But we're gonna get it done. Then Jericho wants to race. So I'm probably gonna put this stock 302. Swap the heads over to the heads on that 347, which they're just GT40 heads. And Jericho's gonna learn to drive a stick. This project's gonna wait. It's gonna need a new top, fenders aligned, figure out what happened to it since I had it last, sold it, and then got it back. But it did turn over and start, so that's good news. Motor for a Jeep. The Harley project is still there. Way too many projects. Yeah, I mean, look at this tire lean. And it's not as much as that one. There's some suspension issues going on. We'll get it figured out. This is just a driver. It's not a show car or anything like that. All right, everybody, thanks for checking it out, and just wanted to do a quick update since we hadn't done anything on this channel in a while. And see you on the next one. All right, first one, line 3. So the way these lines are positioned, it's hard to get to the top one, hard to get to the back one until you pull this one. So we're gonna pull this one first. I'm not gonna unhook the back right away, because I want to make sure they go back in the right place, in the right order. Since I have both, I'm going to replace both. They're only like 36 bucks off of Amazon. I might want to grab a drain pan, huh? I thought it would only be a little bit. There we go. All right. Now with this out of the way, I should be able to get to the other side. Hopefully. I couldn't get my line wrench to fit on here earlier. Hopefully. Oh. Yuck. And that's why I put the gloves on. I'm not normally a glove person, but I hate power steering / transmission fluid. Just need to stick it on here enough to break it free. It's right against the housing. This is a poor, poor design. The correct angle if I don't make a mess. this break free. Come on. This might be a vice grip moment, so I don't round everything off. I don't want to use vice grips, but I think I'll have less chance rounding off if I do. You get out of the way. You tuck up over here or something. Just gotta get it to break free. I think it moves some. Where the vice grips are moving. No, it didn't move. That's not encouraging. There's not much to get a hold of there. I think it's draining the whole power steering pump. I don't know how there's any fluid in it anymore after that line split, but it is what it is. What a mess. Turn it here. Just take some, break it free a tiny bit. That didn't do nothing. Just bent it. Yay, old cars. Oh, it did something. Aha. I think the line is seized to the fitting, but hopefully it's free enough I can actually use a wrench to get stuff free. Or this is going to be a long job with the vice grips. channel locks real quick. Nope. Back to the vice grips. That's it, come on. All right, so lower hole to lower hole, upper to upper. At least that makes sense. I'm assuming that's the culprit. That line right there. Now the question is, do I start that new line before I get the old one out? These buttons are totally sliding. What a mess. So my new lines are over there on the table. I'm gonna go grab them. Grab a fresh pair of gloves. These are just Amazon specials. They both have the same part number. They both look the same as the original. They don't have the braiding on them like the original, but considering this car is 50-some years old, it's probably the stock lines. I hope they'll hold up until I can switch this over to rack steering. All right, I think most of our fluid is out of the way. Now can I get to the other fitting to break it free? I may have to get in the car. All right, so this one looks like that. That one started. Ta-da. Turn the fitting up. Doesn't line up bad. Definitely not exactly the same. but I should be able to get it to start once I get the other one out of the way. I know I'm already gonna have a mess to clean up on the floors. And probably have this dripped on my back. All right, I'm gonna move my light so I can see this other fitting. Looks like I can get to it from here. I just don't know if I can get a line wrench on it because it's so close to the cylinder or whatever you want to call this. And of course it's got corrosion on it from heat and age. All right, there we go. Wrench is on. Oh, it broke right free. Good news, good news. That's a positive that it is coming free. It's seized to the dang. The fitting is seized to the screw as well, but not bad. I got to give a shout out to Neo Mustangs. He was talking about Sunday. If you haven't watched him, good guy, also in Ohio. Stick shift guy. He pretty much said, get off your ass and go work on your project. And I was like, yeah, why am I not getting off my ass working on my project? So he did say they don't chase the rabbit hole, so I'm not going to replace all these suspension parts right away. It might be something over the winter, but these power steering lines were the first thing that stuck out since it was leaking on the floor. There it is. Now I'm going to put my other power steering line in that spot so I know they don't go in the same place. And it will be obvious when I put it back together what goes where correctly. Does it mean I did it correctly? We'll see. So yeah, Neo Mustangs was on a good talk Sunday night. He does a live Sunday nights, I think at 8:30 Eastern time. And he's like, go work on your damn project. Get out in the garage, work on your stuff. So I'll say, so anyone that's watching here, go work on your project. Go get started. Why aren't you? Is there something stopping you? All right, are these 9/16 or a 14? These are a little different size. I don't mind that. It'll be, all right, I'm gonna put this side on because it's spinning freer and there's less room to work. This one's kind of stiff, so I'll put it on the side that's easier to get to. So me and Moose were just hanging out in the house, and I'm like, I really should be out working on my project, or a project. All right, the angle of this, I'm gonna want this angled somewhat like that. I do think these long tube headers don't help the situation for these lines. There's a lot of heat right there. from me and the previous owner. I think these lines kind of dried out, and driving it, the heat was getting to it. And it didn't help these things not, I gotta get a smaller wrench. Didn't help these things not from splitting and cracking. Need to get some more floor dry down there. So I need to position this where the line is going to want to go in, probably there. Moose is just chilling over there for anyone wondering. He loves being out here with me. He normally has a stick, but not today. All right, that one's pretty darn tight, and the line's pretty close to where I want it. All right, let's snug this one. Let's see about getting this one started. This is the thing with not ordering NOS. They're kind of like, these bins look cool. Give her a shot. And they're okay, but not perfect. So, see, it's, I wonder if they want us to bend it a little bit. Suppose I could. I just want to get it where it's in a good place, not binding too much. All right, I'm going to break the other one back free a little bit so I can rotate stuff. Out of the way. That should be enough for it to move. What a mess. It's so warm, this sweatshirt might be a little much. Now that it's started, I can move that wherever I want to get it up out of the way. I guess you guys can't see what I'm talking about. So, trying to get this fitting to line up in this hole so it'll pull straight. It kind of looks like it wants to be down here, like that. And then it rolled out of where I wanted it. Come on. These gloves coated in fluid is not helping. If you've replaced these and you're watching and I'm way off, leave a comment. There it goes. Nine sixteenths. Hopefully it'll start easy. No binding so far. It's not there yet where it wants to be. Nothing's cross-threading now. I think it started. Maybe not. There it goes. It's just so tiny bit off. And I gotta hold down on it like this to get it to bite. Come on. Nope. Oh, shoot. It's over here a tiny bit. Yep. All right, I'm going to pull the other side out. Hopefully that'll take the pressure off of it. Because this one's a good angle going in. It's pretty straight. And then I can probably start this by hand. And then our fight will be on the other side. There it goes. We'll get it almost snug. I'll rotate it. As you can tell, it's pretty windy out. All right, turn you guys around again. We're trying to go to this hole. Now we just need to find the sweet spot. Getting this into place. Like I said, I knew it was going to be a tiny bit off. Maybe down like that, and then flip it up. It looks like it's there. Come on, right there. Just start for me. can get started. My dad always said, just had to hold your mouth right. Wasn't much later till I learned what that meant. There it is. They're both started. Now, is this one going to start in for me without being a pain in the butt? And the lines just are a tiny bit too long for what I want them to do. What I'm going to do is snug them up to hopefully where they're holding decent. The flange should flatten out and find where it wants to be. So bottom to bottom, that's snug. Now hopefully this one will start with no problem. Looks like it's starting okay. I think my only resistance is the way the flange is turned. Which maybe I can give it a tiny bit of convincing for some room. Well, seems tight. Now the upper one. Oh, they're not near the header. They got a little twist to them, but they are definitely snugged up. Now it's going to be, did I do it right? Did I get the angle of the line going in enough to hold it without leaking? The $1 million question, I guess. I hate how this one hangs. Like, I feel like this should be twisted forward, up out of the way. This one's up. It should be up here. But I gotta get that transmission out. Probably before I try to start it. I gotta get this starter bolt back into place. One that holds it together. We're finding missing pieces there. That looks like a 10. Let's see if I can get it to snug up. It's over here. This bolt. Right there was loose. Looks like I'm going to need an extension and a swivel. And then I'll see if it's a 10. I think it's a 10. Now let's use the short one. That's a 13. There's a 10. And give it some final oomph, maybe. I swear this Mach 1 has some of the worst steering components there are. Just the way they designed it. I'm not surprised things vibrated loose the way this thing was shaking and bucking to get home. That one feels okay. Starter wire feels okay. All right, I guess that's going to be the end of power steering line install. Next, we will see if it leaks. I'll put some fluid in it and then watch it. I don't see any drips rolling off of it now, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty empty with what was on the floor and what went into the can. T5 is next. Stay tuned, everybody. Thanks.